Welcome to first PU online classes. Today we will discuss some numericals here. Here listen. First numerical. In a ballistics demonstration, a police officer fires a bullet of mass 50.0 grams with speed 200 meter per second on soft plywood of thickness 2.00 centimeter. The bullet emerges with only 10% of its initial kinetic energy. What is the emergent speed of the bullet? This is the first numerical. Now, here, what is here in the ballistic demonstration? A police officer fires a bullet of mass. A bullet of mass given. Here, mass I am writing here. Mass m is equal to given. That is 50.0 grams. 50.0 grams means 50 into 10 power of minus 3 kg. Okay, right, this is a mass and speed also given. Speed given, that is I am written as a 200 meter per second. Okay, now first of all we find the initial kinetic energy. First of all we find the what is here initial kinetic energy. First of all we find the which energy here initial kinetic energy. What is the initial kinetic energy? Here that initial kinetic energy can be written as the here initial kinetic energy. First of all we find the initial kinetic energy. What is the initial kinetic energy here? Of mv square. This is the initial kinetic energy formula. Now initial kinetic energy is equal to half into mass. Here 50 into 10 power of minus 3 into v square. V square means 200 square. Now what is we are getting here? Initial kinetic energy is equal to here what is here half into 50 into 10 power of minus 3 into 200 into 200. 200 into 200. Here 2 ones are 200s, right? This is a 200s. This is a what is here 2 ones are 200s. Now what is we are getting here? Initial kinetic energy is equal to we are getting as a here what is here? This is a 50 into 10 power of minus 3. This is I am writing like this 10 square into this is 2 into 10 square. 2 into 10 square means 2 into 100. 2 into 100 is 200. Now what is we are getting here? Initial kinetic energy. I am getting as a initial kinetic energy. What is the initial kinetic energy means? Here 50 into 2. This is also 100. Now this is minus 3. Here 10 minus 3 plus 2 plus 2. Totally how much here? Or simply I am writing like this 10 power of 3 into 10 power of 4. 2 plus 2. Here 10 square into 10 square is equal to 10 power of 4. Now initial kinetic energy is equal to this is also I am writing as a 10 square. 100 is equal to 10 square into 10 power of minus 3 into 10 power of 4. Means 4 plus 2 6. 6 minus 3 is equal to 3. Means 10 power of 3. 10 power of 3 means 1000 joules. This is the initial kinetic energy. Next we find the what is here? Here what is here? Bullet emerges with only 10% of its initial kinetic energy. What is the emergent speed of the bullet? Means first we can take the what is here final kinetic energy. Final kinetic energy is 10% of initial kinetic energy. Okay, final kinetic KEF means final kinetic energy is 10% of initial kinetic energy. 10% means 10 by 100 into initial kinetic energy is how much here? 1000. Now these two cancel. Now what is we are getting here? This is a 100 joules. This is a final kinetic energy. Here what is the given here? Bullet emerges with only 10% of its initial kinetic energy. Means final kinetic energy is 10% of initial kinetic energy. So 10% means 10 by 100 into initial kinetic energy. Already we know that 1000. It means here these two 0 cancel. 10 tens what is here? 100 joules. Means here what is asking here? what is the emergent speed of the bullet? Emergent speed of the bullet means final velocity of the bullet we have to find here. Here this is a kinetic energy, final can be written as of m into Vf square is equal to what is here 100 joules. Now Vf square is equal to what is we are getting here 100 into 2 by what is here m. Vf square is equal to 100 into 2 by m. Now what is here Vf is equal to under root of 100 into 2 by 100 into 2 by what is there 100 into 2 by m. This is a Vf is equal to under root of this is square is there. Here this becomes to be under root 100 into 2 by m. Now what is we are getting here from this Vf is equal to under root of 100 into 2 by now m value is equal to mass is equal to 50 into 10 power of minus 3. Okay, now 50 into 10 power of minus 3 kg. This is the mass of the bullet is there. Now Vf is equal to when calculating this one. Here what is here 52s are cancel. Now what is here under root of 4 into this is taken 2 2s are 4 into 10 power of 3 means here 4 into 10 power of 3 means Vf is equal to here 4 into 10 power of 3. 4 into 10 power of 3 means 10 power of 3 means 1000. 4 into 1000 is equal to 4000. Here 4000 means near about we are getting under root of 4000 is equal to 63.2. What is we are getting here meter per second. This is the answer. This is a here what is the emergent speed of the bullet here Vf is equal to 63.2 meter per second. Once again listen here. In a ballistics demonstration a police officer fires a bullet of mass here what is here 50.0 grams with speed 200 meter per second means mass is equal to 50.0 grams here 50 into 10 power of minus 3 kg. These grams are converted into kg. Now speed is given 200 meter per second as usual speed we are writing 200 meter per second on a soft plywood of thickness 2.00 centimeter. This value we are not using in this solving the problem, just they are given the thickness 2.00 centimeters. The bullet emerges with only 10% of its initial kinetic energy. Bullet emerges only 10% of initial kinetic energy. Emerges only 10% of initial kinetic energy. What is the emergent speed of the bullet? Emergent speed of the bullet means final velocity of the bullet they are asking after passing through the what is here plywood. After passing through a plywood, what is the final velocity is there? That velocity is asking in this problem. Here mass velocity is given, initial kinetic energy, KEI means initial kinetic energy, general formula of mv square, half into 50 into 10 power of minus 3 into 200 square. Here half into 50 into 10 power of minus 3, 200 square I am writing as a 200 into 200. Now 200 is a cancel. Now 50 into 10 power of minus 3, 100 I am writing as a 10 square. 10 square is a 100. Now this is 200 I am writing 2 into 10 square. 10 square means 100. 2 into 100 again getting 200. So 200 I am writing like this 2 into 10 square. Now kinetic energy initial is equal to 50 2s 50 into 2. 50 2s what is here 100. Remaining 10 power of minus 3. 10 square into 10 square I am writing as a 10 power of 4. Now kinetic energy initial is equal to 100 can be written as a 10 square into 10 power of minus 3 into 10 power of 4. Now what is here? This is a 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 minus 3 is equal to 3. Here when the bases are the same we can add the powers. Here 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 minus 3 is equal to 3 means 10 power of 3. 10 power of 3 means 1000 joules. Now final kinetic energy I want to find here. Final kinetic energy what is here? The bullet emerges with only 10% of its initial kinetic energy. Means the final kinetic energy is 10% of initial kinetic energy. 10% means 10 by 100 into initial kinetic energy is 1000. Means how much we are getting here? This is 100. These 20, these 20 cancel. 10 10s are 100 joules. Here final kinetic energy formula of mvf square. This is a vi square I am writing. Initial kinetic energy means initial velocity vi square. Final velocity vf square is equal to 100 joules. Now what is here? Vf square is equal to 100 into 2 by what is here m I am writing. Here Vf is equal to under root of 100 into 2 by m. This is a squaring on square root on both. Here square root on both sides. Or Vf is equal directly you can write under root of 100 into 2 by m. Now Vf is equal to under root of 100 into 2 by here m. Mass is equal to what we know that here 50 into 10 power of minus 3. Here 51s are 52s are. Here 2 2s are what is here 4. here this is the 10 power of minus 3 in the denominator is there, taking into numerator 10 power of 3. Now 4 into 1000 is equal to 4000. 4000 under root nearly we are getting what is here 63.2 meter per second. This is your final velocity of the bullet. Here Vf is equal to 63.2 meter per second. Right? This is your first problem. Next, see the next problem here. Now, it is well known that a raindrop falls under the influence of the downward gravitational force. It is well known that a raindrop falls under the influence of the downward gravitational force and the opposing resistive force. Two forces are acting. One is the gravitational force, another one is the opposing resistive force. The later is known to the speed of the drop, but it is otherwise undetermined. But is otherwise undetermined. Consider a drop of mass 1.00 gram falling from a height 1.00 kilometer. Here, consider a drop of mass 1.00 gram. Mass is given. Mass is how much given here? 1.00 gram. 1.00 gram means 1 into 10 power of minus 3 kg. Grams are converted into kg. Now, falling from a height of 1.00 kilometer. Here, what is their height given? 1.00 kilometer. 1.00 kilometer means 1 into 10 power of 3 meter. Means 1 kilometer is equal to 10 power of 3 meter. 1.00 nothing but a 1. Here kilometer can be written as 10 power of 3 meter because 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. Right? It hits a ground with a speed of 50.0 meter per second. Speed given 50.0 meter per second. Speed is given 50.0 meter per second. What is the work done by the gravitational force? First question asking. What is the work done by the unknown resistive force? Right. First of all, we find here what is here, first of all, it is well known that a raindrop falls under the influence of the downward gravitational force and the opposing resistive force. Means it is freely falling, raindrop. Raindrop is freely falling means here first of all we find the change in the kinetic energy. Change in the kinetic energy can be written as, here I am writing here, first of all I am finding the change in the kinetic energy. Change in the kinetic energy I am writing here, that can be written as a of mv square minus of mu square, means final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. This is a change in the kinetic energy. Now change in the kinetic energy I want to find here, delta k is equal to of into m, mass. Mass is equal to 1 into 10 power of minus 3. Here mass is equal to 1 into 10 power of minus 3 into here 1 into 10 power of minus 3 into velocity. Velocity is equal to final velocity is 50.0 means 50. Here what is here 50 square minus of, here what is here initial velocity is 0, freely falling, m into 0 square. I am writing here m into 0 square I am getting here, this is a m into 0 square. Now this can be written as delta k is equal to, now what is we are getting here, this is a 10 power of minus 3 into 50 into 50 means what is here 2500 by 2. 2500 by 2. Here mass value also substitute here, this is a of into, here what is here 1 into 10 power of minus 3 into 0 square. Mass is equal to 1 into 10 power of minus 3. That is value I am writing. 0 square means that value clearly we are getting as a 0. 0 square is 0. 0 into something is totally 0. Now this is what is here 2 1s are 2 1s are 2 2s are 2 5s are 2 10s are. Here 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, remaining 1 2 5s are 10, 12 50. Now what is we are getting here delta k, change in the kinetic energy, delta k is equal to 1250 into 10 power of minus 3. 1250 into 10 power of minus 3 means 1250 by 10 power of 3. Now delta K is equal to 1250 by 1000. Means 1250 by 1000 means what is here? This 0 cancel. Now 125 by 100. Here 125 by 100 means 1.25 joules. Right, this is a change in the kinetic energy. We are getting change in the kinetic energy. Next, here what is here? Next I want to find the work. What is the work done by gravitational force? Here first of all I am making here A, work done by gravitational force. Work done by gravitational force can be written as general formula mgh. It is falling in the same direction of the, what is here? It is freely falling. Freely falling means here it is moving in the same direction of the, what is here? Gravitational force. So what is getting here? Plus value we are getting. Now W gravitational is equal to mass. Mass is equal to how much here? 1 into 10 power of minus 3. G value is equal to 10. This is a mass is equal to 1 into 10 power of minus 3. G value, acceleration due to gravity, nearly I am considered as a 10, and H value is equal to 1 into 10 power of 3. Here what is a 10 power of 3? 10 power of 3 cancel, means that is a 10 power of 0. 10 power of 0 is equal to 1, means W gravitational is equal to how many joules we are getting here? 10 joules we are getting. Now W gravitational is 10 joules. Here change in the kinetic energy is 1.25 joules here. Next what is asking here? What is the work done by the unknown resistive force? Now here from work energy theorem, now that is a work energy theorem. What is the work energy theorem here? Total work done is equal to change in the kinetic energy. Total work done by the all the forces. Generally work done by the force, we are saying that work done by the force means work done by all the forces. One is the here gravitational force, another one is a resistive force, unknown resistive force. Means total work done I am writing here W gravitational and W resistive. I am writing as a, this is a W resistive force, another one is a resistive is equal to here what is here? Change in the kinetic energy. Work done means this is total work done. Total work done means work done by the gravitational force, work done by the resistive force, both are considered. Now work done by resistive force is asking is equal to delta K minus W gravitational. Now W resistive force can be written as, now what is here? W resistive force can be written as a delta K. Delta K is equal to 1.25 minus W gravitational. W gravitational is 10 joules. This is 1.5 joules, here 10 joules. Now here this is what is here in the 10, 1.25 removing means what is here? That is we are getting W resistive is equal to here what is here? Minus 8.75 joules. This value is equal to minus 8.75 joules. This is a here what is here? W resistive force. This is a resistive force. The W gravitational force how much we are getting here? Here 10 joules. Here W resistive force means what is the work done by the unknown resistive force? Work done by the unknown resistive force is equal to minus 8.75 joules. Here what is the change in the kinetic energy? How much we are getting here? 1.25 joules. We are applying the work energy theorem. Work energy, what is the work energy theorem? Work done by the total forces, not only one force. Work done by the total forces is equal to change in the kinetic energy. Means work done by the gravitational force is WGR. This is called as a WGR, called as a work done by gravitational force. W resistive is called as a work done by unknown resistive force is equal to change in the kinetic energy. Unknown resistive force is required. Work done by unknown resistive force is required. That work done by unknown resistive force is equal to delta K minus W gravitational force. Now W gravitational force already we are getting 10 joules. We are changing the kinetic energy, already we know that 1.25. 1.25 minus 10 is equal to minus 8.75 joules. Here final velocity is 50.0 meter per second. That is, a raindrop is freely falling. Freely falling means falling under the influence of downward gravitational force. Means it is freely falling. Freely falling means initial velocity is 0. That's the reason here I am considered as a U value is equal to I am considered as a 0. Here this in this formula I am considered as a U equal to 0. Why U equal to 0 means it is a freely falling. That's the reason I am considered as a U equal to 0. V value I am substituting here. I am getting delta K is equal to 1.25. From this, next we find the W gravitational. When we know the W gravitational and change in the kinetic energy, we find the W resistive force, that is 8.75 joules. Okay, right. Next, last topic in this chapter that we will discuss here. Last topic, that is elastic collision in two dimensions. Elastic collision in two dimensions. Elastic collision in two dimensions. Right. What is the elastic collision in two dimension? Now, yesterday we have discussed the inelastic collision in one dimension. In the previous class, we have discussed the elastic collision in one dimension. We have discussed elastic collision in one dimension, inelastic collision in one dimension. Now, we will discuss the elastic collision in two dimension. Right. In the two dimension, we will discuss here. Now, here listen here. Elastic collision in two dimension. Elastic collision in two dimension means after the collision, the body is moves in the two bodies, colliding bodies are moves in the which plane here? XY plane. After the collision, they move in the XY plane. Means it can move in the here what move along the two axis. XY plane means it can move along the two axis. That's the reason it is called as a elastic collision in two dimensions. Now, this is I am considered as a, listen here carefully, this is I am considered a body of mass m1, it is moving with velocity u1, here moving with velocity u1. Now here this is I am considered as a two axis simply. One is x dash means this is a x axis. Now another consider as a, this is I am considered as a y dash. These two axes I am considered. Okay. Now first of all I am considered as a m1 body. Here this is a m1 body is moves with velocity u1 before collision. Here m2 body, this is a m2 body, it is at a rest position u2 equal to 0. This is before collision. This is I am saying that before collision. This is a before collision I am considered. This is before collision u2 equal to 0. Now after collision what happens here? After collision m1 body moving in this direction. Here m1 body I am considered, that is here this is we can consider as a small body m2 is, because we will differentiate both. Right, this is a m1 body. M1 body is this is I am considered as a m1 body. After collision it moves with velocity v1. Right. Now m2 body also. This is m2 body. After collision it moves with velocity v2. Right, it moves with velocity v1, it moves with velocity v2. M1 body is moves with velocity v1, M2 body is moves with velocity v2 after collision. Now here this is a M1 body moves with velocity v1, it makes an angle theta 1. This is called as a scattering angle. This is M2 body is moves with angle theta 2. This is called as a recoil angle, but that discussion is not required. Just here it makes an angle theta 1 with x axis. It makes an angle theta 2 with x axis. Now this is a, now listen here, here angle is theta 1, here angle is theta 2. Now this is velocity, I am dividing into two components. Clearly listen here, this velocity I am dividing into two components. How we will divide into two components? Now listen here, here angle is theta 1 means here also angle is how much here? Theta 1. Here also angle is theta 1. Here both angles are the same. This is also angle is called as a, what is here? Theta 1. Here also angle is theta 1. Right, this v1 I am dividing into two components. We know that here this is a bar is a vector. This is dividing into two components. This is a cos theta. This can be written as a sin theta. Two components. Similarly here also I am writing here, this is also dividing into two components. Here angle is theta 1. So this is horizontal component. This can be written as v1 cos theta 1. This is vertical component. This can be written as v1 sin theta 1. Clear? Right, because here velocity vector is a velocity is there. So v1 cos theta 1, here v1 sin theta 1 I am writing. Right, here also velocity is a vector. Here angle is theta 2 means here also angle becomes to be, here what is here? This becomes to be theta 2. Here horizontal component I am written as a v2 cos theta 2. This is horizontal component because here v2 is makes an angle theta 2 with horizontal. Now this is horizontal component. This is a vertical component. Vertical component can be written as v2 sin theta 2. Because here vector is v2, angle is theta 2. v2 sin theta 2. Here v2 cos theta 2. Listen here. Now this is a v1 is there, it makes an angle theta 1, so it is I am written as a v1 cos theta 1. This component can be written as v1 sin theta 1. This is horizontal component, this is a vertical component. Similarly v2 is there. Here v2 is makes an angle theta 2 with horizontal. This is horizontal, this is a vertical, because it makes an angle theta 2 with this line. So this line becomes to be horizontal. So v2 cos theta 2. This is v2 sin theta 2. This is horizontal, this is a vertical. So v2 sin theta 2. Clear up to this one. Now here v1 comma v2 I am dividing into two components. One is a v1 cos theta 1, another one is a v1 sin theta 1. Here v2 also dividing into two components, v2 cos theta 2 and v2 sin theta 2. This is after collision. After collision, here the two bodies are moving in which plane? Here xy plane. That's the reason it is dividing into components. Here before collision it moves along the only one particular axis. It is before collision they are moving along the x axis. Here before collision they are moving along the x axis. After collision, here what is here? After collision they move in the xy plane. XY plane. After collision they move in the xy plane. That is the reason it is dividing into two components. Clear here? Here before collision I am not dividing into components because it is moving along only which axis here? X axis before collision. After collision it can move in the xy plane. That is the reason we are dividing into two components. Now listen here. Now I am applying the from law of conservation of linear momentum. Law of conservation of linear momentum along x-axis. I am applying the law of conservation of linear momentum along the x-axis. How to write the law of conservation of linear momentum along the x-axis? First of all, I am writing along the x-axis. First of all, these two bodies are before collision they move along the x-axis, but it cannot move along the y-axis. Clearly listen. Here before collision, here what is here? These two bodies are M1 body and M2 bodies are moves along the x-axis. So the momentum is there along the x-axis. Before collision, along the x-axis momentum is there, because here two bodies are moves along the direction of x-axis before collision. So I am writing here the momentum can be written as mass into velocity m1 u1 before collision, m1 u1 plus m2 into u2 is equal to m1 v1. Here clearly listen, m1 v1, this is v1 cos theta 1 is along x-axis, v1 sin theta 1 along y-axis, but law of conservation of linear momentum I am writing along the x-axis. That's the reason we are taking the component along the x-axis. So what is I am getting here, m1 v1 cos theta 1 component along the x-axis, m1 v1 cos theta 1. Here this is for m1 body. Next m2 body, m2 body I am writing here m2 into v2 along the x-axis. What is that? The component of the velocity is v2 cos theta 2, v2 cos theta 2. Once again I am saying clearly, listen here. Now before collision these two bodies are moving along the x-axis, that's the reason there is linear momentum is there. So linear momentum can be written as m1 u1. Next one is a m2 u2. After collision, m1 v1 cos theta 1. Why taking the v1 cos theta 1? Because velocity along the x-axis is v1 cos theta 1 for the m1 body, m1 v1 cos theta 1. Here for the m2 body, velocity is what is there, v2 cos theta 2. So m2 v2 cos theta 2. Now this can be written as a m1 u1 plus m2 into 0. This u2 is 0 is equal to m1 v1 cos theta 1 plus m2 v2 cos theta 2. This is given to equation number 1. Clear? Now next next we can take here equation 1. This is m1 u1. This value is 0. 0 means simply we are getting m1 u1 is equal to m1 v1 cos theta 1 plus m2 v2 cos theta 2. Right, this is given to equation number 1. Now next we are applying from law of conservation of linear momentum. Law of conservation of linear momentum along y-axis. I am applying along the y-axis. Now before collision these two are moving along which axis here? X-axis. So there is no components along the y-axis. There is no velocities along the y-axis. There is no velocities along the y-axis means there is no momentum along the y-axis, because momentum is equal to mass into velocity. Here what is here? Velocity is not there along the y-axis means momentum also not there, because momentum is equal to mass into velocity. So there is no components along the y-axis before collision. No component along the y-axis before collision. That's the reason I am writing here momentum can be written as 0 plus 0. Momentum is equal to mass into velocity. Velocity is not there means momentum also, linear momentum also not there. Now 0 plus 0. Here along the y-axis. Here there is no, what is there, momentum along the y-axis before collision. Here what is the here law of conservation of linear momentum? The total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. This is before collision, this is after collision. Here also before collision momentum is 0, because there is no components along the y-axis. No component along the y-axis means there is no component of velocity along y-axis. Velocity is not there means momentum also not there. So 0 plus 0 is equal to after collision m1. After collision here component along the y-axis. This is positive y-axis along the positive. This is positive y-axis. This is negative y-axis. So positive y-axis is there. So directly I am writing v1 sin theta 1. This is v1 sin theta 1 is the component of the velocity along the y-axis. Along the y-axis. This is after collision. For the which body here? m1 body. Here m2 body what will be there here? m2 into here minus v2 sin theta 2. Why taking the minus? Because of it is along the negative y-axis. It is along the negative y-axis. Downward direction is there. Along the negative y-axis is there. That's the reason I am taking here minus v2 sin theta 2. Because it is a vector. That's the reason direction also consider. Velocity is a vector. Now what is I am getting here? 0 is equal to m1 v1 sin theta 1, here plus into minus minus m2 v2 sin theta 2. Right, this is another way we are writing like this. Now what is we are writing here? m1 v1 sin theta 1 is equal to m2 v2 sin theta 2. Right, this is I am writing like this. This is given to equation number 2. Now here, listen here, how writing this equation I am showing here. This is what is that I am taking here, left hand side, means m1 v1 sin theta 1 is equal to minus m2 v2 sin theta 2. Directly I am writing here. This is taking here, this is a minus, here also minus, here minus minus what is here, cancel, means m1 v1 sin theta 1 is equal to m2 v2 sin theta 2. We are getting like this. Okay. Now that's the reason I am writing this equation like this here. m1 v1 sin theta 1 is equal to m2 v2 sin theta 2. This is given to equation number 2. Next I am applying here from law of conservation of kinetic energy. Here these two I am taking as a components. Why taking the components? Means linear momentum is a vector quantity, but kinetic energy I am not taking the components, because kinetic energy is a scalar quantity. That's the reason I am writing here from law of conservation of kinetic energy of m1 u1 square for the first body before collision, here of m2 into 0 square, u2 value is equal to 0, directly I am writing 0 square, of m1 u1 square plus of m2 u2 square, but u2 equal to 0, so 0 square is equal to of m1 v1 square. Directly I am consider v1 only, I am not taking the components. Why not taking the components? Means kinetic energy is a scalar quantity, plus of m2 v2 square. So we are getting this value is equal to 0, so of m1 u1 square is equal to of m1 v1 square plus of m2 v2 square. This is given to equation number 3. Listen, we are getting the three equations. m1 u1 is equal to m1 v1 cos theta 1 plus m2 v2 cos theta 2. This is a one equation. m1 v1 sin theta 1 is equal to m2 v2 sin theta 2. This is a second equation. Of m1 u1 square is equal to of m1 v1 square plus of m2 v2 square. This is the third equation. We observe these three equations clearly. When observing these three equations clearly, after the collision, 4 unknown quantities is there. After the collision, 4 unknown quantities is there. What are the 4 unknown quantities? Here v1, velocity we don't know, v1, first body velocity we don't know, second body velocity we don't know, and angles theta 1 and theta 2 also we don't know. But here 4 unknown quantities is there. After collision, 4 unknown quantities, v1 comma v2 comma theta 1 comma theta 2. Here these 4 unknown quantities we can't find using these three equations, because of suppose x plus y is equal to 8, here x minus y equal to 2. This is the equation is there. Here 2 equations are there. Here x plus y equal to 8, x minus y equal to 2. 2 equations is there. Here 2 unknown quantities there. X comma y is there. Unknown quantities are what is there? X comma y. Unknown variables is x comma y is there. Using these 2 equations, when solving these 2 equations, we can find the x comma y easily we can find easily. But only one equation is given. We don't find x and y value. Here because of here when the 2 equations are given, easily we can find the x comma y values, means 2 unknown quantities is there, 2 equations are required here, but here 4 unknown quantities is there. But how many equations are there here? 3 equations are there. Using these 3 equations, we don't find the 4 unknown quantities, v1 comma v2 comma theta 1 comma theta 2. Using these 3 equations, we can't find the 4 unknown quantities after the collision. After the collision, 4 unknown quantities are what is here? v1 comma v2 and theta 1 comma theta 2. We can't find these 4 unknown quantities using these 3 equations. That's the reason when knowing the any one value, we find experimentally. Suppose any one value we know that theta 1 value or theta 2 value or v1 comma v2, any one value we find experimentally. Remaining 3 unknown quantities we find it using these 3 equations. When solving these 3 equations, we find the remaining quantities. Here clear information is there. Here we are getting the 3 equations. Using these 3 equations, we can't find the 4 unknown quantities. In order to find the 4 unknown quantities, how many equations are required? 4 equations are required, but only 3 equations is there. That is the reason any one value we find the experimentally, remaining 3 values we can easily calculate it using these 3 equations. This is a explanation of what is here elastic collision in which dimensions here? 2 dimensions. Okay, thank you.